Welcome back. When it comes to reducing our carbon footprint, one of the simplest things also happens to be one of the most important. Just getting more efficient about what we already do makes an enormous difference. Think about what we did with light bulbs and then multiply that by a few billion and you start to get the idea. Our homes, our products, even our behavior can all make a big impact on how efficient our energy use is. Corey Diamond is Executive Director of Efficiency Canada. Corey, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
So one of the things I actually find so interesting about this subject is it really is the low-hanging fruit of our green transition, getting more efficient with what we already consume. And yet, although we have kind of policies here and there, programs to, we should retrofit our homes, doesn't really feel front and center to me. What more could we be doing to kind of highlight the issue that how we use the energy we're using today could actually be a lot better?
Yeah, so one of the things we talk about at Efficiency Canada is how energy efficiency makes every other part of the green transition just work better. So imagine we wanted to replace all of our carbon emitting fossil fuel generation sources and replace that with solar panels and windmills and hydropower. Well, imagine if we had 50% of the demand eliminated first. Well, then you would need half as many windmills, half as many solar panels, half as much hydropower. So we kind of think of it as one of the first steps, not just each individual taking, but as a society, let's reduce the demand we need to do and let's make every other part of the green transition just a little bit easier.
So we know, for instance, buildings is a big one, and buildings is actually the third biggest category of emitters, right, in our economy. We know new buildings will have to meet standards, and that's sort of the easy way to get at this. There's a ton of infrastructure that could be better. What's the best way to get there, in your view? Is it government programs? Is it simply awareness? Because people could save a lot of money by doing this. How do we get our buildings to be more efficient?
Well, there's a lot of different ways, and everybody does have a part. And one of the things that we talk about is that we have to stop thinking about retrofitting buildings as just purely an individual choice. Some of the stuff that's coming out of Europe nowadays and in some cities in the US, they're basically taking entire neighborhoods or entire types of buildings and retrofitting them all at once. So if we want to get to the net zero target that we all want to get to by 2050, and we want to achieve the economic impacts that come alongside with reducing energy use, we're going to need a completely different paradigm to retrofit buildings across this country. And we've got to start right now.
What else would be high on your list of things that we should do like that would make a big change?
Well, if you're talking about let's say at the homeowner level, we've got basically three major things that could have a serious dent in your emissions and in your energy use. The first is looking at your heating and cooling system. Oftentimes, we're emitting fossil fuel emitting sources through our natural gas for heating. So you want to look at things like heat pumps and going way more efficient on that. The second thing you want to do is look at the building envelope. So you want to think about things like insulation. You want to think about, sealing up all those cracks around all the openings and things like that. And then the third thing you want to think about is windows. Windows actually leak out an enormous amount of energy, and new technology, which are called kind of triple glaze windows, are the most effective. So if you look at the full house as a system and you tackle those three things, you could have a significant impact on reducing your energy use. Some
really helpful ideas. Corey, good to have you with us for this. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Corey Diamond is Executive Director of Efficiency Canada. Time now for the takeaway, and when change starts at home. For too many Canadians and for too long, the fight against climate change has been an abstract one. Once we stopped debating whether action was needed, and for the most part that debate is behind us, we could turn our attention to the policies needed to make a difference. And in this vast country with its enormous wealth of energy resources, here we got a little stuck. It's all very well for small, landlocked European nations to blaze a trail on greenhouse gas emission reductions, but Canada's economy has become reliant on the fuel the world consumes to grow and thrive. Fossil fuels have been an incredible catalyst to lift billions of people out of poverty, to modernize our economies, to allow us to soar into the 21st century with a sense that anything is possible. Except, of course, our planet won't sustain itself on its current path of fossil fuel consumption. So our governments have reluctantly made plans together to hit some targets, medium-range targets over a reasonably long time frame. And even then, critics grumble about the damage that will be done to our industries and economy. But the fact is, there is so much more we can do, because for the most part, most of us haven't done anything. Maybe we don't toss litter out of moving cars anymore, but it's not like most of us treat sustainability as though it's an important personal goal. Partly that's because it's a big job and it's easy to feel that as an individual we're powerless. But from the cars we drive, or even how and where we drive, to the clothes on our back, we make choices every day that could alter the path of our national green transition. Making sure your windows are sealed, turning off your computer at night, choosing public transport instead of a drive. All small but material steps that we can take. And when we all take them, the change that will happen as a result could be dramatic. My takeaway? Doomsday scenarios rarely motivate people, but most of us want to do the right thing. We just need to be a little clearer on what those are and how easy it is to do them. That's Taking Stock for this week. I'm Amanda Lang. Thanks for being with us.